Hi, I'm Laura, and welcome back to the Tarot Genie, where you receive intuitive insights from the tarot to your burning questions about business, career, entrepreneurship, creativity, personal development, and more. You want to know how to better live in the moment, how to appreciate the now. Maybe if you haven't really thought about it, it is something from which you could benefit, because we never know. The past is gone, of course. The past is the past. And the future, of course, is great to look forward to things like an upcoming vacation or a planned project that appears to be most promising. However, the future is never promised to us. It's not guaranteed. So ideally, we can get enthusiastic about future plans, about future developments, but to live at maximum potential and with maximum joy, it's recommended to live in the moment. I did not bring with me a copy of a book that's in my library, but dealing with the issue of living in the moment, of course, is the book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. The Power of Now, it's a little bit challenging, at least it was for me, to get through that. Some of the way he writes is a little bit esoteric, but it's indeed, the book has sold millions upon millions of copies. And the reason, I think, is because he talks about his own life, and I think there was a point where he contemplated suicide. And he realized that one of the solutions and one of the ways out of feeling this sense of despair was living in the moment and maximizing the very present moment to enjoy life even more. I will have information on that book below. Sorry, I don't have the cover or the book actually here to share with you. And as always, I will recommend a piece of music that it's useful to listen to all week to amplify the themes of this particular tarot reading. We're going to select 3 cards representing the mentally what you need to do, how to approach this issue of living in the now, enjoying the present moment more fully. Physically, what are some things that you can do? And spiritually. So let me finish shuffling. It's a little challenging with the giant Rider-Waite. And all right, mentally, physically, and spiritually, what does the tarot recommend this week? Mentally, we have here the 5 of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. In response to the question, how can you live more in the present moment? This is suggesting, well, we have, when it's upright, the 5 of Pentacles is often called the card that's associated with poverty, of despair, of being down and out. And what this is saying to me, that it's reversed, is mentally, you need to let go. In fact, this really relates to Eckhart Tolle's own experience, that sense of despair, of hopelessness. In some way, you've got to release it. There's whatever comes to you, start brainstorming ideas. And again, as I've said in other tarot readings, some of these prescriptions are easier said than done. But the first point of this reading is the tarot is advising, and the 5 of Pentacles reverse is suggesting, release the sense of despair. And what I always like about this image, even though it's an image that evokes that sense of poverty, of despair, is that we have this church stained glass window, beautiful stained glass window, and it suggests that strength and support is right there behind these people. They're not looking at it, but there is tremendous spiritual strength and support that's right behind them, right in their midst. And so I would say that releasing the sense of despair, and perhaps mentally looking for ways that you can strengthen, even though we are going to be talking about the spiritual solution as well. Figure out ways that you can strengthen your faith in yourself, in the universe, in life, etc., so that you can be more present, so you can live fully in the moment. And I'll have some more ideas as we go along. Physically, this is interesting. What advice is presenting? Now, this is a little bit challenging for me, seeing the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords often represents being at an impasse, being at a block or at a roadblock. not knowing which way to turn. However, there is some solace in this card, and there is a solution in this particular image, because we have the Two of Swords. Now, twos can often deal with choices. This young woman is, well, I always see this as stopping. You know, someone's coming forward, and she's saying, no one passes by here. But what's also ever present in here, in this image, is the crescent moon, perhaps a new moon. And the moon is associated with the intuition. And because this position is representing physically what is advised to live in the present moment, I would say that it's suggesting considered practices, physical practices. You know, meditate, maybe take a meditative walk, or learn how to meditate, be still in your body. Do something where you can tune in. And she also has that blindfold that, you know, she's blind, she's, at least at the moment, she cannot see, and which to me suggests turning within. When you are at a crossroads, when you encounter an obstacle, turn within and tune within. Physically, find some practices that best suit you. Not everyone likes meditation or feels comfortable with it. Some people do a meditative physical practice, whether it's swimming, whether it's paddleboarding, etc. Something that is repetitive, something that is soothing, and allows your mind to let go of the logical thoughts and tune into your intuition. I would say that's what's being recommended here. And then finally, from the spiritual perspective, what do you need to consider? Interesting, Six of Swords reversed. When upright, the Six of Swords, and swords are associated with thoughts, philosophies, but especially those thoughts and challenges in communication. In this particular image, we see a woman and her child, and the ferryman is taking them to a new place, somewhere they're going off from turbulence here on the right to smoother waters. Given that this is reversed, I would say that spiritually, you're being advised, again, inner work, do something that soothes yourself, that allows you to still the turbulence and be present in the moment. To just enjoy a quiet moment. This scene is very quiet. I mean, they've been through turbulence, but the feeling I receive when I gaze upon this image, whether it's upright or reversed, is that there's solace. They are moving forward into an easier situation, into a calmer situation. As a reversal, I would say that this is being amplified. The spiritual advice is saying really that you need to gain that calmness and that serenity by turning within. That's essentially the ultimate solution to living in the moment. You've got to turn within. Only you have power over this. No one else outside of you can make you live in the present moment. Now, looking at these cards, we see that in this reading we have two swords cards, so suggesting the idea of mental activity. I'm trying to see if there are any other commonalities, what else jumps out at me about this particular reading. It seems to me that this seems to amplify Eckhart Tolle's his experience of getting out of despair by being, well, I think he did some meditative practices, but by tuning into the present moment and realizing any kind of looming danger or looming challenge that's a few paces ahead just didn't exist in that moment. That being present, being calm is what's asked for. But I would say too, this Five of Pentacles reverse is saying, and we've got two reversals here, is that a lot of inner work is suggested, a time to tap into your own spiritual power, whatever that may be. It doesn't mean you have to be religious. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily go to a church and try to get out of the glare here. But tap into that present moment, the calmness. That's where you're going to start feeling more fulfilled. You're going to start enjoying life when you take your focus off of the negative challenges. Doesn't mean you put them under the carpet, sweep them under the carpet, and pretend they don't exist. That's not at all what is being advised. What is being advised is that the solution lies in just being present in this moment, eliminating despair, like I'm trying to release this despair, and tapping into any resources you may have, which may come to you when you turn within or get still and calm. And realize that you may feel physically at an impasse, but solutions lie within. The moon suggesting intuition, and that physically start adopting some practices that allow you to find solutions and to enjoy the moment and to be able to move forward if you feel stuck. And realize that the solution to any turbulence, moving away from turbulence, moving into calmness, is always from within. I hope this reading has been helpful for you. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. And I'd like any comments you have. Your likes are always welcome. And just realize that being present in the moment is a wonderful way of maximizing your enjoyment of life. Until next time, illumine your mind, inspire your life with the tarot.